I'm Matt Riley, CEO of Brickwork. We just rebranded as Brickwork, so many of you are going to get the email from us hearing about our go-to-market support. And this morning has been pretty interesting because the challenge of growth and go-to-market in this era of AI is only getting sharper and difficult, and for us included, right? We're part of this team. We're on the same side of the desk as you are. Leaders are being asked to deliver more growth with tighter teams, better precision, and less room for waste. That brings us to Circuit 2, go-to-market operational efficiency. First, we're going to tackle this in two parts. You'll hear from Amanda Kahlow, founder and CEO of OneMind. This is the third time Amanda has pulled this off. She's a three-time founder and one of the very few female CEOs to build a unicorn, a legitimate unicorn. She previously founded 6 Sense, helping define ABM in the revenue AI category. And now at OneMind, she's building an AI go-to-market platform designed to compress sales cycles, improve conversion, and help revenue teams scale in a really different way. She'll take on what she calls the impossible paradox, why growing revenue keeps getting harder, and how AI can finally start to change the math. Then after Amanda's session, Heather is going to come back up, and she'll sit down with Jonathan Weiner, a serial fintech and events entrepreneur and the founder of category-defining platforms, including Money 2020, Shop Talk, and Health, now the largest conference in the world focused on health innovation. He's also the co-founder of HumanX, a new community and flagship event built around the real-world deployment of AI for decision makers. So let's start with the revenue paradox, the operating pressure, and where AI is beginning to change the question and change the equation in real terms in real time. Please welcome Amanda Kahlow.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is for you guys. I am here, I'm gonna start there we go. Oh, okay, this is fine. This is not the intro slide, but that's okay, I can go with it. I'm here to talk about the impossible paradox. We are living in a world where your old playbooks are no longer working. Your board is demanding more, as Matt mentioned, for less. And the way that we've done it historically is just not going to scale with us as we move into the next age. So I wanted to bring to the stage to start off a friend of mine, and we call her Mindy, and she's the smartest person in the room. You might have thought when I said the smartest person in the room, I'd be talking about myself, given that I'm a tech founder, and that would be what a typical tech founder would say. But that's my joke. Nobody laughed. Didn't go over. All right, I gotta laugh by saying that. So before I do, just gonna say a few things. So as introed, I am Amanda Kahlow. I'm the CEO and founder of OneMind. I was the founder and former CEO of 6 Sense. I like to say to the market, I started 6 Sense to find buyers and OneMind now to close them. I have unfinished business for go-to-market. There are 3 massive pain points that are coming together all at once at this really critical time. I took 4 years off in between 6 Sense and where I am today, and I came back because this world is more exciting than it ever has. How could I sit on the bench and be a stay-at-home mom when AI has the opportunity to change our lives and change the way we go to market and change the way we do business? And the number one pain point that is in the market today is simply we need to grow and we need to cut costs. Growth is more expensive than it's ever been. On average, it used to cost us $1.25 to acquire a new customer, and now it's upward of $3. I was talking to a CEO a couple nights ago of an enterprise SaaS company, $500 million company, and he said it's costing them $5 to acquire $1 of ARR of new revenue for their company. And growth is shrinking. So the market demands something new, something better. But I'm going to pull you out of the perspective of growth and what you're looking to do as CEOs and CROs of your organizations, and actually just put you in the life of your buyer for 1 minute. Just think of the experience that we give buyers. You go to Google or you go to an LM, you end up on a website, you dig around on thousands of pages of content to find the answer to your needs. Like, just think about that for a second. How effing archaic is that? That we have to go figure out what content resonates with what I need, and then I finally say, okay, I'm ready to buy. I fill out a form, and then I wait for what? An SDR, a junior person that is there only to qualify me, not to give the pitch, not to solution, not to answer questions, and if I qualify, oh great, you've earned the right to talk to our AE, who also still can't answer the technical questions. So 3 calls later, you get a sales engineer or a solutions engineer. And then, for for the lucky ones that buy. You move on, and then you get handed an account manager who's there to just upsell and grow, but has no idea about the history of the life cycle of why you purchased. Or you have a CSM that's there to onboard you through the process. Are you exhausted? I'm exhausted. But here is the most uncomfortable truth. And I'm not one to sugarcoat anything. Humans are the problem. Humans have time limitations, capacity limitations, recall limitations, and dare I say, hallucinate? I love it when my customers ask me, well, will your AI, will your superhumans hallucinate? And I'm like, do your sellers hallucinate? And do they do so nefariously to get the deal done and repetitively? And I can guarantee you that if our superhumans or AI hallucinates once, she will never do that again, and it stays on tight guardrails. So application-specific AI, when you put it on tight guardrails with evals, highly unlikely to hallucinate. When you're going out and talking to the foundational models, it's just a probabilistic model, and it's hallucinating the whole time, right? So it is a very fundamentally different approach. Now, a lot of you are thinking about AI across your organization, and you're thinking, yes, I'm going to apply agents, and I'm going to apply task-based workflows to fix today's processes. You're going in and saying, what are we doing today, and how can we apply AI to make this task better? And what's fundamentally wrong with that is you are taking the playbooks of yesterday and saying, how can I slap some AI on top to make my IC slightly more efficient? Or worse, instead of from top down, you're going bottoms up. You're saying, hey, IC, hey, rep, hey, Mr. Customer Success person, I need you to learn how to use AI. Figure out how to do your job better. I can't tell you how fundamentally wrong that is. One, it's a waste of time. So many people are wasting so much time trying to figure out how to use AI to do their job. As leaders of organizations, you need to take a top-down approach and think about, if I started fresh with a clean slate, what would I do? What would I do different? Erase all the old playbooks of yesterday and look at where can I apply AI in a way where there is no business model today to support a human, for example. So what we call AILG, AI-led growth. We're using AI to help you grow, to cut costs, and to delight buyers and create a better experience. And we do this at OneMind through what we call go-to-market superhumans. They are a face, but don't get hung up on the face. It just drives higher engagement. It's not what we are. Voice, and it's a go-to-market brain that can do the job of, yes, your chatbot on your website, but it's also your SDR to qualify. It's also the first call AE to give the pitch, share slides. It's also your SE to give the deep live demo in the moment, interactive demo. It's also your CSM to onboard and take customers through the journey. So she can do multiple jobs across your entire life cycle, compressing that to have infinite memory as it scales. It goes from one touch point, remember from the beginning SDR, all the way through to your CSM. Your AI remembers that entire process and can solution sell better than your best seller, better than your best SE. And the impact, obviously we know if we're first in and we win the deal, if you get information into your customers, your deal cycles shorten. And when your deal cycles shrink, you have a larger ACV, you have higher conversion rates, and you have higher win rates as a result, and revenue at the bottom comes out much greater. So we support the entire life cycle. I've said a lot. I know I'm short on time, but I want to share, this is one case study. We have lots of enterprise customers. HubSpot is a customer. They're one of the first to give us a chance over a year and a half ago. They have now 5 live superhumans. This one, Fiona. Fiona, the superhuman, supports their SMB and commercial line of business. So as somebody comes in where there was no business model previously to put a human, they put a superhuman, she gives the pitch, she gives the demo, she drives to close, and as a result, 88% of people who saw her spoke to her for on average of 8 minutes. They increased their free trial conversion rate by 75%, but most impressively, they increased their revenue for that line of business by 25% by engaging buyers with this human-like experience in the cycle. And they also said one other bit on that. They said it would have taken 89 sales SDRs and 19 sales engineers to do the job of one Fiona. Now, Mindy is our superhuman at OneMind, and Mindy has created $35 million of pipeline for us. We have no SDRs, we have no sales engineers. We are experiencing AI exponential growth. I'm not going to share our numbers with you today, but I can tell you that where I am 18 months in, I wasn't 6 years in at 6 Sense when I started 6 Sense. So we are much further along, and it's because of Mindy. She's taking every conversation. A real life example, I sold to the CRO of Alteryx recently. So those of you know, is a data company, they sell agents. He came in and talked to Mindy over the weekend and had a 45-minute conversation. Then his CMO came in at a 30-minute conversation, and as a result of that, it was a one-call close with a 6-figure deal. I got on the call, and literally he was selling me. He was like, here are all the ways that we're going to use it, and now has 5 superhumans across the life cycle of their business. These are some of our customers, trusted, so no small feat, Workiva, Nutanix, LinkedIn, Boston Dynamics, Samsara, New Relic. So these aren't experimental projects. These are all annual commitments. I also would like to say, challenge, that we are no longer in the experimental era of AI. It's now time to actually do real work, and the proof points are there. So make a bet and do real work. So with that, I'm going to share a couple videos. So this first video is a few of our customers talking about it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. I mean, that was the best demo that I've ever seen. I'll buy.
I don't have this reaction to technology very often. Like, this was one of those that sort of like, it was a pretty special interaction. I just felt like the elegance of what I saw on your website was something I hadn't seen or experienced before. It was very, very cool.
The applicability of Mindy across so many different areas of the business, I think, is amazing.
Okay, so those are some of our prospects. Now I'm going to show you some real-life superhumans in action. And because we didn't have good Wi-Fi, these are videos. What I would have loved to do is had a real-life talk with our superhuman so you can see actually what it's doing and see the live interactive demo, throw real questions at it, watch it bob and weave, and always be asking the next probing question, just like your best salesperson would be doing. So this is just in video format. And the first one I'm going to show you is actually somebody you are all very familiar with here today. And my goal for Heather after this first round of her superhuman, you may have seen it on the RevvedUP website, is that this superhuman can now sell sponsorships, sell tickets, go all the way versus just answering questions. But let's have a little chat with Clara. So here she comes.
Hi there, welcome back. In case you need a refresher, I'm Clara, your Business Development Manager from H2K Labs. You can jump in with questions anytime, but my goal is to help leaders redefine growth for their revenue-critical teams. What brought you here today?
Hi, Clara. I'm looking to learn more. I saw a post on LinkedIn from David Fortino and curious.
That makes sense. David Fortino from Netline is on the attendee list for RevvedUP 2026, so you likely saw something tied to the event or the broader revenue room ecosystem. What about it made you curious?
Sounded like a really interesting speaking session. Who else is attending this event and what is it focused on?
RevvedUP is focused on AI, data, and business model shifts, shaping growth for leaders in media, events, data, and information businesses. Recent and sample attendees include leaders from Adweek, Clarion Events, GovExec, Informa TechTarget, QuestX North Star Travel Group, The Channel Company, Wellesley Information, and many others. What's your job seniority level?
I'm CEO.
CEO is exactly the level RevvedUP is built for. The room is intentionally curated for CEOs and revenue-critical C-suite leaders so the conversations stay peer level and practical. What is your primary industry?
Data and media.
That is a very strong fit for RevvedUP. Data and media are right at the center of the audience this event is built for. Could you please type your business email into the chat so the team can stay connected after the conversation?
So you see there what Clara was doing was she wasn't just answering questions. She was driving towards getting information. Are you the right fit? Are you a C-level audience? Do you fit? What industry are you from? She shares content. So the one thing you don't realize is she's got thousands of slides in her brain. At any minute, she can bring that content into the view. A human can't even do that. So if I'm on a sales call with you, I can come with my one little prep deck of 50 slides and go in and bob around those slides, but I absolutely couldn't bring in the right case study or and do the live demo if it's going to go in a certain direction. Whereas AI can instantly, so at Alteryx, the example of the CRO there, they have 10,000 case studies in their superhuman's brain. At any point, she can just jump in and say, let me show you what that looks like for somebody who looks like you, and do the best solution selling in the moment that humans don't have the capacity to do that. So this last one I'm going to leave you with is Mindy. Mindy is our superhuman on our website, and I wish I could have a live chat with Mindy, but here's a recorded version.
I'm Mindy from OneMind, and I can give you an overview, walk through use cases, or show you live examples of superhumans in action. What brought you here today?
Just exploring.
Thanks for sharing. I'd love to set the stage and show you what a great superhuman experience is like. I'm going to show you I'm a great seller. I can help uncover your pain solution with you and hopefully get you excited about putting a superhuman to work for your business. First, tell me a little about your company and your role there.
I'm an executive at a media company, but why don't you talk to me about use cases?
Let me make this concrete. The main use cases are website inbound, where a superhuman qualifies and books meetings, PLG and product guidance for onboarding and conversion, ride-along solutions engineering for technical live support, and customer success for onboarding, support, and expansion. Which one feels closest to the problem your team is trying to solve?
Probably website inbound. We need more pipeline.
That's a strong place to start. A website inbound superhuman engages visitors instantly, answers questions, qualifies them, and books meetings, so your existing traffic has a much better shot at turning into real pipeline. What's the biggest leak on your site today?
Top of funnel.
Hey, Mindy.
That makes sense. Top of funnel usually comes down to weak conversion, slow response, or buyers not getting good enough answers in the moment. Which of those feels most painful for you right now?
You are in a room full of executives. Give us a quick 10-second elevator pitch as to why we should spend more time with you.
OneMind gives you superhumans that engage buyers instantly, qualify pipeline, run demos, and support customers across the journey without adding headcount. If you want faster growth, lower cost, and a better buyer experience, we're worth a closer look. What should I unpack next? Pipeline impact or live examples?
Okay, so I'll pause it there, and I'll just leave you with one thought, that, as I mentioned before, I do really believe this world is shifting. I think one of the most humane things we can do in a world of AI is to tell people that their jobs are going to be replaced, but there will be 1 million more jobs as a result of this. This is like every good revolution and paradigm shift that's happening. And so I actually have a very adverse reaction to people who use AI will be the ones that are moving forward, because it's not the IC's job to figure out how to use AI. It's our jobs as leaders to figure out how to transform our organization and give them the truth and give them the opportunity to move into those roles. So with that, thank you, and next.